Rama Video.
Hey guys, what's up? This is video by Ratman. I'm Ratman. Um, so today's video, the topic, you may be wondering. Well, today's videos, the topic is all about squirrels. Man, squirrels are pretty cool, and it's okay if you guys don't know what a squirrel is, because I'm gonna tell you guys what a squirrel is. Yeah. So squirrels, right? They belong in the family of Scurridae, along with other members like chipmunks, marmots, and prairie dogs, and a lot of other things. I think. Um, they like to eat a lot of stuff, like nuts. I think. I don't know. I've seen them eat nuts. I know the acorns. I've seen them eat. I think I've seen them eat acorns. Walnuts too, probably. Walnuts too. They might be a little harder to get into, but I'm sure they can do it. Um, so I saw 5 really cool squirrels that I'm gonna talk about. So the first squirrel is the American red squirrel. Man, that's a cool squirrel. Man, that's really cool. I think it looks really good. It's kind of red, hence the name, I'm thinking. I'm no scientist, I'm no like namingologist, but that's probably why they named it the red squirrel. It's kind of more of like an orange, but yeah, the American red squirrel. Oh, I'm gonna tell you guys a scientific name. It's Tamias scurius hudsinganatus. So this squirrel likes trees, right? You can find it in trees like conifer trees. Conifer trees are those like ones that are really sappy. Um oh wow, their diet consists of cone seeds, like, pine cones, fir cones, conifer cones. Um you know it's an American squirrel when you see the red fur, or the a red squirrel when you see the red fur. It's kind of a small squirrel. It looks pretty small. It only weighs 200 to 250 grams, right? Probably about a pound. Um, this squirrel, you see it all over the place, man. It's sometimes in Canada, Alaska, Rocky Mountains, all over the place, man. Yeah, man. What's really sad about this squirrel is its population is under threat of decline in Arizona. Um, Personally, I think the government is involved in this. Why? Because they know that when the bombs drop on us and the nukes fall on America, our diet will consist of squirrels. Well, let's get on to the next squirrel. The next squirrel I'm going to talk about is the fox squirrel. Um, I don't know why they call it a fox squirrel. It doesn't really look like a fox to me. But I'm no scientist. This could be related to the fox. Here we have an image of a fox squirrel. He's climbing a tree. That tree looks like some sort of conifer tree. I'm not sure what kind. The fox squirrel, scientific name Scirius. Let's move on. It's a pretty big squirrel. Its body length is 17.7 inches to 26.6 inches. Holy cow! That's a big squirrel. And it weighs about from 500 grams to 1,000 grams. Wow. That's got to be at least a pound. They live in areas like Canada, Texas, Colorado. They like open areas like oak trees, walnut, hickories, and pine. I don't really know what their diet consists of, but I'm assuming like nuts, peanuts, whatever they can find, really. Um, the next squirrel we're going to be talking about is the black squirrel. Wow, that's a gorgeous squirrel. Look at that. I like its bushy tail. Holy cow. Man, that thing's freaking cool. It looks like some sort of squirrel. So the black squirrel, the Sciurus carolinus, is named for its black fur. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. It's actually a genetic mutation of white blood cells. The squirrel prefers dark, poorly lit forests for camouflage. That's pretty smart of the squirrel. Squirrels are pretty smart, man. The black squirrel is found in most areas where the gray squirrel populations and coexist in peaceful relations but are hostile to other squirrels. Yeah, so I guess they don't like other squirrels. Guys, I'm sorry to inform you guys about this, but squirrel racism is still a thing. And what I'm thinking is, whenever I hear about racism, especially squirrel racism, I automatically think the government is involved. Because the government wants to divide us, and they want to divide us and the squirrels as well, because they know when the bombs drop, they want us all to not have food anymore, because they know all of us are going to eat squirrels someday. Squirrel kebabs, man, sounds pretty tasty. So the next squirrel I want to talk about is the eastern gray squirrel. That's a pretty cool squirrel, man. I like that squirrel. Holy cow, that's a neat squirrel. Yeah, this squirrel, you know it's an eastern gray squirrel when it's gray. Not like the other gray squirrel. That was the other one, the American gray squirrel. This one's the eastern gray squirrel. It's a different shade of gray. I know it is. The squirrel has a body length of 23 to 30 centimeters. Oh, and guess how long this thing's tail is? 19 to 25 centimeters. Holy cow, this thing's tail is almost as long as its body. That's crazy. Imagine that. The eastern gray squirrel can descend at a tree head first by rotating its hind ankle at an angle of 180 degrees. Holy cow, I wish I could do that. If I could do that, I'd be doing that all the time. The eastern gray squirrel species has been cited as a threat to the fox and red squirrels. I don't know what the scientific name is. I think they just call it the eastern gray squirrel. This squirrel likes to live in like the forest, and it lives all over the place. The next squirrel I want to talk about, and the last squirrel sadly, is the western gray squirrel. Wow, that is a long body. That is one long squirrel. Man, holy cow, that thing's cool. I really like that squirrel. That's such a cool squirrel. The western gray squirrel, known as Sciurus girusis, is a rodent. I don't like calling them rodent. It sounds kind of a rude term for it, because rodent makes me think of rats, right? Squirrels and rats, they're similar, but I don't usually see rats climbing trees. Anyways, let's move on. He's found in the western U.S. and is considered to be kind of a shy sort of squirrel. They're some of the biggest squirrels in North America. Probably one of the biggest squirrels ever, in my opinion. With a body and tail length combined to be 50 centimeters and can weigh up to 1 ton. Oh, kilogram. I think that's about like a pound. Yeah, this squirrel really gets around. What's really sad about this squirrel is it's being threatened by habitat loss due to human and non-human factors. So this website I'm on is actually wrong. What's actually going on is the government is trying to stop the squirrels from being around so they can drop nukes and bombs on us and kill us all and we'll have no food. I'm gonna get into some cool facts about the squirrels, right? So one cool fact about the squirrel is there's this one squirrel, right? It's called the flying squirrel. And it's not really a flying squirrel, it's more of like a gliding squirrel. It's got these really cool like wings sort of thing. It's just skin. It's just skin, man. But what I really like about that squirrel is, like, most squirrels, they gotta like climb down the tree and then up another tree, or they jump tree to tree. Actually, one time I saw this squirrel, right? It was freaking crazy. You're not even gonna believe me when I tell you this. He climbed like, I want to say like 50 feet up a tree in about 4 seconds. Can you believe that? That's crazy. And I knew it was about 50 feet up because I was in an LR7 lift truck, and I was about 50 feet off the ground, and that squirrel, he climbed up about 50 feet, ran on a branch, and then jumped like, I want to say like a 15-foot gap onto a fir tree. It's like, holy cow. Anyways, I forgot what I was talking about with the flying squirrels, but that's a cool squirrel. Another thing I want to talk about the squirrels. So there's this guy, his name's Mark Rober, and he made this one video about squirrels. He made like this obstacle course for the squirrels because he's a freaking sick human being. He was really dogging on this one squirrel named Fat Gus. And like, come on, man. It's a squirrel. I'd like to see you do what that f***ing squirrel's doing, Mark. Like, if I shrunk Mark Rober down to the size of the squirrel, I can guarantee you this freaking son of a biscuit couldn't do what the squirrel's doing. But yet, he's like, freaking, yeah, man, it made me so mad. And he was like, oh, Fat Gus likes to eat. He's a big squirrel. Oh, yeah, Mark. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's compare you to the squirrel. How much do you eat in a day? Anyways, for more quality content like this, remember to like and subscribe. And comment in the discussion board which squirrel was your favorite. And I'll see you guys next video. Remember to like and subscribe and comment which squirrel is your favorite squirrel. I really liked all these squirrels, man. They're all really cool. Tune in for the next video. Ratman is out.